Well, what's going on, guys? This is Mark Cooper of Knox Fishing. You know William here, and you're in for a real treat today. This is going to be different than what we usually film on this channel, super in-depth fishing tutorials and stuff like that. William actually went on a month-long adventure out west where he's from to chase desert trout and see the wildlife and scenery out there near the Grand Canyon, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, and all the other places out west. And if that's something you've never experienced and you're from the eastern part of the U.S., the best way I can describe it is just it's open, it's huge, it's expansive. You can't really capture the landscape in one photo because it's just so huge. Here in East Tennessee, it's kind of a more intimate type thing. Everything's close together. That's the type of beauty we have here. Out west, it's just gigantic. And I'm going to let William go over kind of what he did on this video and what you can expect. We thought about cutting this up into multiple different videos, but I'm just going to release one big giant one, and I'll put different links down in the description below of the different chapters of the video basically. But I just want to see how a long fishing adventure does, and this is a super cool one, and hopefully one of just a few we're going to be doing here in the future on the channel, because that's what I really want to do. So I'm going to kick it over to William here.
Sure. Always a pleasure to be here. Yeah, it was a very good adventure that I had out there. So I left here and drove out. I started by driving out into the New Mexico wilderness. I started on a creek up in the Gila National Forest, changed gears from there. I had some difficulty with that creek, found another section where I would be able to get a Gila trout on the end of a fly rod. Successfully had that happen. Then the next day went over and met up with my dad and brother for Father's Day weekend in the White Mountains of Arizona. We went and fished one of the stocked creeks that moves into wild fish further up in its elevation. And there's some footage catching apache trout in Arizona. We also had some footage from the following day where we caught some artic grayling. There's a place in Arizona where they have artic grayling in a pond at about 10,500 feet, something like that. And it was really cool to get to fly fish that country as well. We did some further fishing while we were there. I caught a brook trout, a rainbow, and a brown trout off camera. And I'd been there because I'd been interested in there's an Arizona Trout Challenge in Arizona, and you catch 6 of the 8 species of trout found in Arizona. And I go through this some in that video. But we went up there, caught a bunch of trout, and then I proceeded on a solo adventure to Utah. Did a lot of fishing in southern Utah, in some of that country, in the Fish Lake and Dixie National Forests. And I caught a lot of fish. I didn't take as much video up there. It's a lot harder to take video when you catch big fish versus
that is the truth. Everything goes wrong when you're trying to video and catch fish at the same time, especially big fish. It just increases your difficulty times like 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one fish in Utah that I have on camera is like a 16-inch tiger, and you can see it's a pain in the butt just to get the phone out to take 10 seconds of video while it's taking drag, running away on a fly rod, versus if someone else was there, it would have been helpful to film it. And had some very successful times there, and got a lot of fish to hand.
A lot of big trout
on that trip.
A couple of things you'll be able to see in this video too are there's a lot of elk in Arizona that you can
Arizona and New Mexico.
Okay. And you can hunt them certain times of the year, of course, but then there's also a couple clips of where there's wildfires out in the desert or up in the mountains there, and you can see the burned foliage and the kind of havoc it leaves, and then the stuff that grows up after it. You can clear as day see it in the video. It's just really cool. And if you ever get the chance to take a week or 2 week long trip out west, I would really, really push you to do that. William and I did a hunting trip in Arizona, where he's from, this winter, where we hunted duck and dove, and what else did we go after? Quail.
You got your first quail.
Out in the desert, and that's just a crazy cool experience. You got to have the vehicle to get out there and the know-how and stuff like that. But it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. I love going on adventures, and that's really what this channel is about. It's just showing you fishing and all the other stuff, but then also how to do it too, because we want you to go out there and experience that as well. So I hope you guys enjoy what we're about to show you here. It's super long, so we're going to cut it up in different parts below in the description so you can click through it. But just kind of take in all that the West has to offer, and this is just a glimpse of it. It's just so huge.
I think it's even worth mentioning. This is, I would hesitate even just to call this the West. This is just like the Southwest.
Correct.
I mean,
yeah.
There's so much left that I may yet get to explore. Idaho, Montana, Colorado, and Wyoming all have incredible fishing for trout and walleye and so many species. And there's just so much outdoor activity left to do out there.
Big white sturgeon too. That's what I want to go do.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
Yeah, I think that's something I'll probably do later this year, depending on how far the channel takes off by then. Because that's really my goal. I want to do this full time and just experience everything that fishing has to offer and the outdoors, and then share it with y'all. So thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're a new watcher to the channel. I include basically everything we do, the good, the bad, the ugly. I don't really like hiding anything, and we catch some big giant fish a lot. You can watch all our other videos. The channel's about a year old now, and we grew from nothing to over 2,500 subscribers, and we passed the 100,000 view mark last week. So that's super cool, and it's cool to watch something that you built with your buddies grow, doing what you love. So hit that like and subscribe button.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Top Knox Fishing for the day. This is William, and I don't appear to be in Tennessee. If you look out behind me, you can see we've changed settings a little bit for this one. I'm out west. I'm actually in New Mexico right now. I'm headed up into the Gila National Forest. I'm intending to get a Gila trout on the line tomorrow morning, real early, so I'm headed into the wilderness and see if I can't find a good place to camp and get close to the creek tonight. So stay with me. I'm gonna take some pretty fun footage here of heading up into the mountains right at sunset, so enjoy. Really starting to put on some elevation now and get into the higher country where there's a lot more elk and pronghorn and some of the more classic western habitat. So once we clear the rise of this hill, we'll be able to see off to the southwest here. There's a big range of mountains over there in the distance, just big gorgeous blue mountains, and that is where I'm headed to find the Gila trout. They're a pretty incredible species. They're a very warm water tolerant species of trout, native to just a couple of drainages here in New Mexico and Arizona. And so they're very limited in population and distribution. And so it's really a treat to get to go and try and catch some of these really incredible native fish. Got a little bit of road laid out before me. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I will be headed straight for a couple of miles down this long desert highway. Still on this long narrow highway, but something I didn't see beforehand, all these satellite dishes over here. They looking for aliens over there. We'll get better footage once we close in a little bit on them. Alright, hopefully now we're close enough to where everyone can see those very nice large satellite dishes over there. I don't think they're actually satellite dishes. I think they're part of an observatory or something. Yes. National, what was was a National Radio Telescope Array or something. It said on the sign back there. But pretty cool facility over there. Pretty wild. I didn't realize this was here. It thinks it's sneaky over there. There's a mule deer hanging out right there. See if we can't edge forward, get a... Oh, you're behind. Her face is behind a tree, therefore we can't see her. There it is. Little young elk again. Man, he's small. That must be a young of the year animal. You all might be able to see the ground's a little bit darker in here. It rained really recently. I mean, I think it was raining on my drive up 20 minutes ago, and I just missed it. But the scent of fresh rain on the desert is like nothing else. It's really a great time to be out here. It also keeps the dust down behind me. You can see I'm not throwing a dust cloud now. Dropping down sort of across one big canyon. I think we have one more canyon to cross before we're really into the Gila trout territory. But you can see it's a pretty rugged set of country in here, but pretty incredible place. Pretty sure, yeah, there's an elk up ahead of us, probably 150 yards on the run now. She'll cross in front of us here in just a moment. Yeah, there she is, crossing the road. A pretty incredible creature. Now that's a full-grown cow elk. There's another, looks like a young one maybe with her, and another back behind. Gosh, they're cool animals. There's a whole big herd of elk about to cross in front of me. I think 3 or 4, or how, well, it's more than 3 or 4. There's a big number of elk over there, and some more, and some more. I think there's another one out beyond over there. Man, that's a sizable group of elk. There are some more here on the right. I thought there might be. You know, there's a good sized herd of elk. You know, we'd been seeing the small groups earlier, but there's a pretty good group. Probably 50, 60 animals. Maybe more. Gosh, they're funky looking until you get used to them. There goes some more. Well, it helps not to film the sky. Kick up a bit of a dust cloud too. Oh, look, some more. An even 2-power magnification. Yeah. There's more than 50 or 60 here. Kicking some more up on the right as well.
that one's got a radio collar. There's a radio collared elk right there. That's cool. I'm gonna see if I can't find the one. That one? Maybe? Is it her? I think, yeah, there's the one with the radio collar. Man, that took me a second to get it zoomed in correctly, but you could see there was a radio collar on that elk from where New Mexico is doing continued studies to make sure they have healthy populations. That's fantastic work. Oh, and another one. It's a pretty good clip of elk here. Pretty good herd. There goes some more. Some more. These are the more mature cows. Some of those early ones were smaller animals, but these are getting to be the 200 to 300 pound cows. And I think I'm, out of the woods for bumping elk for a second. I bet that means most of those singles and pairs that I bumped earlier were probably bulls down in the thick stuff. There's another one. What's she doing? So, anyway, I suspect that clip will get used nicely. Just turned off, and here's a pronghorn. There's a couple more back behind that there's one of them. Anyway, these guys are cool, and they're one of the essential western creatures. Man, raggedy looking this summer, but they're great. Just some of the fastest land animals there are. You can really see some of the, well, now you can see a big rock bank and me sliding, but you can really see some of the damage that a fire can have, when it's really burning hot in these canyons. But you saw earlier in the shallower canyons that it did a lot less, so sort of interesting to see how things change. Now that we're sort of on top of this hill where there was a wildfire several years ago, I think this burned 3 or 4 years ago. You can probably see down there, there's a road through it that will catch on the way back down. That's just a pretty incredible view. Just staring down mountain range after mountain range. Now we're coming over the top of this hill. I suspect we'll have a pretty good view on this side too. Well, maybe not. Aha, there's some more big burned trees and big mountains in the back. Pretty cool place. So we just came down from that direction, and we're sitting at the trailhead now, and we'll go out that way. But just a gorgeous little canyon, and man, it's nice. Can't wait to show you all this in the morning, but it's pretty late. It's right at sunset, so I need to get my tent up just because it may yet rain on me. There were some storms off to the east, so probably ought to pitch the tent up. Probably shouldn't just rely on the on the cot for the night. So anyway, well, we'll see y'all unless something crazy happens with the sunset here that's worth capturing. We'll see y'all in the morning. Good morning, everyone. We're sitting at the same trailhead as last night. We're geared up now to fish. I've got all my fly fishing stuff with me, and I'm gonna go see if we can't get up the trail and find a couple of Gila trout this morning. So using a little teeny fly there, you can see in reference to a nail just how small that is as a presentation. It's really that's just a little elk hair caddis size. I think that's a 16 or an 18, so should be fun. Hopefully we can find a couple fish in this small creek. As we can see here, there's kind of a little catchment. It's a little man-made catchment to keep consistent stream flow throughout the year, so I think that's a likely spot to start with. So I think I'm gonna get set up and make a few casts down in there and see if I can't find a fish. Just kept coming down the stream here and nothing yet. I'm kind of amazed. There's a lot of real small fish as far as young fry trout. There looks to be some of those and some darters and minnows and dace, but you know, just I've not seen a trout over 2 inches, so getting a little discouraged that I might find a Gila trout that's catchable in these waters, but I'll keep looking to see about some of the bigger pools that I can find, see if they're not there, or in some of the riffles and fast water in between. So if I get anything, I will let you guys know. I'm headed off this one for the morning. It may just be a little cold. It may just be active later in the day here on this stream, so hopefully I can, there's another stream I want to go check, and hopefully it should have some more morning activity. Anyway, it's just so gorgeous in here. I'm happy I came, even though it's not a super fishy place. This place just feels wild. I love it. Truly is a majestic landscape. Couple of elk out here, guys. Looks like mom and a baby. Here's a turkey. I'm really surprised she doesn't have little ones. Just a little hen Miriam's here. That's cool. Here's a mule deer, young buck here. Yeah, gorgeous thing. Just in the road here. We'll figure out where to go. Gorgeous little Gila trout. See if we can't put him in the sun. What a pretty little fish. We have found some Gila trout. Here's a little one that I just caught. Back off he goes. Gosh, there's we'll see. I don't know how much of that you guys will be able to actually see through the glare on the water. There's a couple of fish in there. I'm gonna see if I can't find a pretty good one. This fish is a little bit better. I'll bring him over here and see if you can't see him. These fish are just hard to handle, but here is what we're in New Mexico for, is right there. Just a perfect little trout. I've hooked one fish, and the whole school of fish is following the one around. I'm gonna try and bring them over here. No, they don't want to follow this far over. But wow, they're pretty impressive fish, I must say. Let's go ahead and let this guy off the hook. Oh, trying to juggle everything here. I guess this might be easier. That fish is sitting under my foot now. I don't know if you can see his tail. There he goes. It's a cool pool. So I found another spot. I think I can pick up a couple of fish. Let me see if I can find somewhere to... I may just have to try and fly fish with one hand, so sorry about the mess in that hand for the moment. But let's see if we can't find a fish. So back in there should be a fish or two. Splash. Maybe? Nope. There he goes. Oh man. I don't know if you guys could see it, but I just missed him. Really struggling. There's a breeze coming up this little chute that I'm in. It's really making it tough to make a precise cast, as well as it's very tough conditions to try and cast a fly right now. I think this time this fish may get hooked if he'll... Nope. Need to adjust. Go to a shorter leader so I get a little more control. And just barely get it over there. Let me actually try a 2x zoom. That fish is sitting right there. And if I can get this fly just correct, yeah, right there, right on him. He may... Nope. See if this does it. Trying to get a reaction out of him. Nope, moved him a little. It's right under it. Yeah, I don't think I'm catching this fish, guys. That might be one over here. It kind of looks like it from the way the shadow is laying. So let's take a pitch in there. Is that a fish? Never was. Gosh, this is such small water. I guess if we try the one-handed thing, I'll show one more spot that I've pulled two out of here so far. Let's see if I can actually get a cast off somehow. And my fly is now up there. I think I'll pick one up, maybe. Gosh. It's hard to see everything right now. Got him that time, but I don't think you guys saw that super well, so. So I think there's some trout in here in the chute, but you know, it's super narrow. No way I could make a traditional cast, so what I have to do is bow and arrow cast into there, and you do that by loading up a fly rod. I think you can see that fly rod's bent enough to where it'll actually push the line forward when I let go, back with this backhand that's pinching onto the fly at the end of the line. So let me try. Need to load this up just a hair more. Let's try and demonstrate and then get a strike on camera. That one didn't quite do it. So in that time I was overloaded and it really threw it for a loop. Really, bow and arrow casting is meant to be done with two hands. I'm just trying to improvise for filming, so bear with me. There, you can see that fly is now on the surface there. I missed him. All that just to miss the fish. All right, let's try that again. This time though, I won't worry about trying to show you all the bow and arrow casting. Again, filming solo is a unique challenge. Sorry for the footage here. So, load it up, let it go. Too short. Really need a shorter rod for this. I'm fishing a 9-foot rod, and I think something 7.5 would be a lot better for being able to deal with these confined spaces that I find myself in, but can't always get quite the perfect tools. So let's see if I can make this happen. That fly is somewhere up there. Oh man, missed a little fish there. Let me try just directly dappling the fly. So I'm just gonna hold the fly up in the water. So you can see there is where I cast. There's a fish cruising over there. Everything's super difficult in these tight spaces. Nothing's ever easy, but gosh, these make it even harder. That's how I'm presenting my flies, at least, so you can apply that if you're fly fishing and need a real short range, tight cast. Look up or find a good video of how to bow and arrow cast. There's a couple fish under the left side of this rock, and the right too for that matter, but I'm gonna see if I can't ease up just a littlest bit more and not spook everything in here. Yes, that might just do it. Might just do it. Nope. Gosh, it's so hard. I can't even see my fly. Just can't tell what's going on. Just a little playground in here though for fly fishermen. Well, I might have worn these fish out. I spoke just a little too soon. I had a fish really come charging hard, so I might be able to pick that fish up. Let's see if I can't find where that fish was sitting. Get him to react again. Oh my gosh. It's like a 2-inch long fish. Little teeny thing. But yeah, there's a cool spot. Let's go check on this other fish that was not real fun. Oh man. Let's see. That fish is really tough to see. You can actually see him. He's sitting like right there in the water. And I don't think that's showing up on video well enough to do anything with, but let's zoom back out a little bit. See if I can't take a shot in there again. Maybe just one time you can get this fish. It's like it's a female on a nest. She keeps going back to the same spot and just hanging out there. Hope you guys can see her. I suspect she can see me. There it is. Come on. Come on. Nope. Nope. Missed. Maybe. Something subtle to this fish. I can't get her to quite do what I want. There it is. What a heartbreak. What a heartbreak. But she's now just sitting back that same old spot. She's just above that rock there. You can see the outline of that trout. Gosh. Should have been. Just B-roll on the way out. It's just a pretty little stream. Howdy. Gotta pause here for a second. I think it's one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time here. Just, you know, you're in the middle of this canyon and, you know, you can hear this roaring creek down below. Let's see if he'll come back out, but, you know, just a second ago as I walked by. Wrong way. There he is. You know, you can see a little trout just hanging out down there, you know, 50 feet below you. It's really cool.
I think we should go higher.
Headed back out.
I think we can go more.
Shouldn't every, you know, rough trout stream have this nice big path built in? I jest, but it is nice because it gives such great access. All at once, it was cool to fish that real wild stream this morning where even the hiking trail in the area was all but impassable from deadfalls that no one had cleared in 3 or 4 years. Just a very different experience, but still incredible places to go spend time outdoors. Suddenly the desert appears, you know, out of that slot canyon and back into the real world. And just like that, you know, most of the way back from that creek, it's really incredible to see all the work that has been put in on this. And I'll look and talk about some of the signs in the place here at the tail end of this. Although it may end up being some of the first footage you see of this place. But it's a really cool, really incredible place to come and find Gila trout. Whitewater Canyon. Really a cool place. National Recreation Trail by the Forest Service. Absolutely recommend. Alright, I'm back down at the parking area, and gosh, what a fun day catching those Gila trout. It's a really neat place, and you really do get to come incredible places here. I'll go over, didn't have anything complex for gear, just a little teeny dry fly there. I don't have a good name for that one, but just a small little fly presented at them, and they were just crushing it. So anyway, talk to you in a minute. Man, as you can see, I'm all kinds of hot and sweaty after that hike back down from catching Gila trout. It was a great day though, as you saw. Caught a good pile of trout and really just had a grand time of it. So it's been a cool adventure so far, and I'm excited to share more of it with you as I get to traveling some more. Guys, been great being here on top Knox for the day, and can't wait to share my next adventure with y'all. Just came into Arizona from the New Mexico side. We've climbed a good ways. We're at almost, I think we're at 9,000 feet in elevation here, and there's still mountains left above us. And that gives you a good idea of just what a wild place this is up here. So I guess this will be the intro. I think over the next few days for Father's Day weekend, my dad, little brother, and I are going to be up here fishing and spending time outdoors. But I think while we're up here, I'm going to try and complete what's called the Arizona Trout Challenge. And so the goal for that is to catch 6 different species of trout of the 8 species of trout that we have in Arizona waters. Arizona has the standard rainbows, brooks, browns. We also have cutthroats, apaches, Gilas. We then have tiger trout and artic grayling, even though they're not a trout, they get counted in the challenge, make up our 8 species of salmonids, trout, in Arizona's waters. I have to catch 6 of them, and so unfortunately the Gila trout are, very limited in distribution in Arizona, and there's the only streams near me with them are recently reintroduced populations that are not open to fishing, and so they are not fish that I'll be able to go get. So the Gila trout's out, and I know there's a couple lakes with tiger trout, but I think I'm gonna stick to the other 6. So while I'm up here over the next couple days, I'm gonna try and catch a rainbow, a brook, a brown, a cutthroat, an apache, and an artic grayling. So hopefully we can find a bunch. So this here on the right is Luna Lake. It's one of the big lakes up here. Wow, it's way down, but still a pretty impressive place. So I'm out here doing some fishing. I don't know if you all can see that super well. There's a couple of trout sitting right under that log. You can see their tails kicking. This is recording.
Okay.
Here you go. Here you go. Just take this one.
Move down.
There's an apache trout. Real nice.
Very
fish.
nice.
So as you can see there, guys, we're up here on one of these little rivers, and we found a little beaver dam, and under this log it switches from a mud bottom to gravel, and so I figured there might be some fish. I came up behind it and shot a video there where you could see some tailing. Well, tailing's not the right word. You could see the tails of some just sitting there on that gravel. But I just dropped a little nymph in front of them and caught this guy who's now just hanging. I think you can see him in there, maybe. Anyway, the really a cool fish, the apache trout. So let's see if we can't get a couple more. So Dad's in the same spot. You get him?
Nice.
Very nice. That's a good fish.
Yeah.
He's wrapped you. I think he's wrapped on a log down there.
Yeah.
That's only 4-pound fluoroliter, so be a little careful. Let him try and swim out of that. Should have brought a net. I can wade in and go get him, but just try not to break him off for the moment.
Let me see if he can turn it, if he'll turn.
Yeah, if you can get him to come, he's stuck. He's got to come back underneath that log there.
Yeah.
Just
He just,
here. We're in some danger here just because your line's not feeding out correctly. So why don't I just wade in and get him? So you just hold that rod
I
with.
got him.
You got him? He's free?
Yeah.
Very nice. You want me to land him for you? Or do you want to grab that fish? That's a good fish.
Yeah.
Real good fish.
There you are.
Gorgeous fish.
Yep. Very nice.
And there he goes, right back. We are headed back down from the creek, and what a gorgeous place it is. So, catch y'all later. We're once again back in Arizona fly fishing, and we're at a little pond up in 10,000 acres or 10,000 feet high in elevation. That's not quite 10,000 acres, this whole pond, but anyway, we're catching a couple grayling, and we're just fishing a little dry fly here. Let me see if I can't get that to focus. Just a little Parachute Adams dry fly. And Steven is wet wading, and he's caught 6 or 8 fish already, and I've caught 2 or 3, but you know, we're catching quite a few, and just all surface action. Lots of fish out there on the surface. You can see one fed there just beyond where he cast. Hopefully I'll be able to stand here a minute and let him hook one on camera. You can probably hear the dogs whining. They want to go retrieve the fish. I didn't realize we had trout retrievers. So there's Steven, there's where he cast to. Hopefully we have a fish come up and rise. Just pretty standard dry fly fishing here, just watching for fish to rise and cast to a group of rising fish, and hopefully we've been doing pretty well so far. Now that I picked the camera up, I'm jinxing him, but we've been catching a pretty good number so far. Nothing complicated, just some little, you can see there he had a take and just missed it. That happens when you fish stuff on the surface. With this, we knock grayling off the list of species to catch for that trout challenge thing we're working on. You can see he pulled his fly there and just moved it over a little bit. Oh, that was just what you'd want for a take. Just missed it though. Guess with that, we'll pause until we hook into another fish. Alright guys, I hooked one of these grayling and they're up the truck working on some stuff, and I'm gonna handle this guy on my own. Just ease into the water here. Gosh, they're gorgeous fish. We'll let him go. We'll catch you later. Here we can see Steven hooked one and is, real delicately playing it. You let him go? Good. Alright, we're back with Steven here, and hopefully we'll get to see and eat. See, way over there.
There you go, man. Ready?
So you can see here we have the fly line, and then Steven's fly is that little white dot sitting on the surface out there.
Shit. Tried to eat the fly line.
Hey, William.
Tickets flies.
I hate you. Well, we're headed out from Arizona now. We tried to do that trout challenge here where we got 6 of the 8 species of trout available in the state. Came up just short. I ended up with 5. Didn't find a cutthroat the way I expected. Just wasn't real productive at the lake I expected it to be. Just wind never cooperated and never could quite get hooked up to a fish. But got the brookie, the brown, the apache, the grayling, and the rainbow trout, but just came up short on the cutthroat. So anyway, I still think that we had some pretty good stuff there. That was pretty cool, catching all those little apaches on the fly rod as well as the grayling. Those were a lot of fun. So anyway, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
So here we see William traveling through the northern Grand Canyon, heading up to Utah to do what turned into an epic tiger trout sleigh fest. That he didn't get a whole lot on film because when you're doing this, it's super hard to do it by yourself, and he was by himself fishing for big giant trout, and he didn't have the GoPros or anything with him, but he caught a bunch of big giant 20+ inch tiger trout, which fight incredibly well. So here's his final catch.
Hooked into a pretty good tiger here. We'll see if he'll jump again, but looks like a 3 or 4 pound fish. Just pretty good fish. So fighting him one-handed on the fly rod right now, and he's just going back and forth on me, not really making much. Gosh, there was another 4 pounder over there. So I'm gonna see if I can't get this fish landed. So we'll see you guys in a minute. Pretty good little tiger trout here. They're planning on draining this lake this year, and so I'll probably take this guy, and he'll be dinner tonight, but he'll be so I'll give him a good bonk and just put him over in the stream here and see if I can't find another fish or two. But man, good fight on that rod. Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming along with William. Not so luckily me. I was stuck here working in Tennessee on the western trout fishing adventure in the desert across 3 to 4 states. You got anything you want to add to the closure? What the coolest part of it was for you?
No, I mean, I hope everyone enjoyed that adventure. I mean, nearly as much as I got to. I mean, it was an awesome trip to get out there and see all that different area and get to fish all those different cool places and catch all the crazy fish that I did. I mean, there's nothing quite like all those different species adapted to those different habitats, and figuring out unique things about each of them is really cool. So I hope everyone can find the time to go out and do that on their own. So
that's one of the, at least to me, one of the coolest things about fishing is the adventure part of it, not necessarily making that final catch. I mean, it is super cool to have that happen, catch the giant fish or the bunch of fish or whatever, but it's the adventure to get there that I feel like is the most fun and rewarding part of it. All the things you got to do to get to that point. And I think humans in general are wired that way, and we thrive on adventure and searching out new things, new experiences, and all those other different ways to grow as a person. And I think fishing gives you the opportunity to do that. So if you're new to fishing, that's what you need to focus on. And here on the channel, we're going to try to teach you the best ways to catch fish and catch big fish and the conservation of them to make that branch from beginner to intermediate to advanced easier, because William and I through college spent I don't even know how many hundreds of hours on the bank fishing for fish here in East Tennessee, big fish, where we just didn't have a boat. But I think those are probably our fondest memories of fishing. There was a bridge out in West Knoxville here where we're from, or where we're at right now, where we spent a lot of time at night just fishing off the top of an old bridge. We caught some giant fish and did a whole lot of dumb stuff because we were in college. But, you know...
this is all too philosophical of a take. It's just all about watching a dry fly get sucked down by a trout.
There you go. Or a 40-pound striper eating a skipjack off the surface. Whatever. It was a cool as heck clip. Thanks for spending the time to video all that. It's a lot of work to do it, and I'm sure everyone here appreciates you taking along with them, and I sure did. I spent 6 hours this morning going through all this footage, just clipping it down into incremental things that we could watch, and it just kind of felt like I was there, and that's what I want to do here on the channel. So hit that like and subscribe button down below, share our social media stuff, Top Knox Fishing, Ginger Fish King on Instagram, and we'll catch you on our next fishing adventure with the homies.
Pun intended, of course.
Yep.